in 2 Kings, chapter 22, where...
Quite lengthy, so how far do we go with that?
We're going to go, I'd say, through chapter 22 to the end.
Yeah. So it's 2 Kings 22 and chapter 23 all the way up to verse 30.
Right.
So that's quite a bit, but it's a very, very interesting story. And so who are we talking about today?
King Josiah.
Yeah. All right. So who was King Josiah in a nutshell?
King Josiah was king of Judah. He began to serve the Lord at age 8, and then started major reform in his 18th year.
Yeah, so he did that pretty early on. And just for the sake of curiosity, who were his father and his grandfather?
His father was King Naaman, and his grandfather was King Manasseh.
So two of the most wicked kings in the nation's history, and then you get Josiah. So isn't that crazy?
That is.
Yeah, all right. So what's something that you learned from the life of Josiah that you can apply to your own life? Because I know what I'm inspired by when it comes to his life, but I want to know what inspires you about him.
I want a heart after the Lord, like King David, way before him. A man who sought the Lord, a man after God's own heart, and that was King Josiah.
Yeah, because the minute they read the law, the minute Hilkiah the high priest found the book of the law, and then Shaphan the secretary brought it to King Josiah, and they read it out, he immediately repented. The change was immediate when he heard it, and he just went to work. I mean, it's the definition of going nuclear.
I mean, one of the instances where he took all 2 altars that his grandfather had set up in the temple of the Lord, in the 2 courts of the temple of the Lord, he just completely pulverized them to powder.
He got rid of all of it. So one thing that I get from his life, a lesson that I get from his life, is anything that is taking the place of God in your life, and there are some things we don't consider idols, but anything that is taking his place, taking your attention, taking your worship in your life, needs to go. And Josiah is a good example to all of us of how to do that, and is complete obedience. It was complete obedience on his part. He got rid of everything.
Yes.
And also, spiritual revival can come in some of the darkest moments in history. And that's another lesson I get from his life.
And it doesn't matter whether you're from a line of wicked kings or not. You have a choice before the Lord.
Yeah.
Do it the first time you hear the law of God and speaks to you. Do it.
Yeah.
Do what it says.
It's an amazing story. I would recommend everybody go and check it out. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's worth it.